Check, sir. It's coming. Huh? Yes. So we'll go. Sir, this easy board is there. Huh? See, no. This is. Yes. So what's the first topic today? We are going to discuss. Huh? Aditya L1 mission. Aditya L1 mission. This time it was launched in PSLV rocket. That is PSLV C57. See, there is a difference between PSLV and GSLV rocket. I think in the last class we have discussed. You would have understood, right? So what is the basic difference? Which can carry more payload capacity, GSLV or PSLV? GSLV. Why? What is the technology? What is that upper stage fuel? Cryogenic fuel. What is the ingredient in that? Liquid, not solid. It is like liquid. Liquid which is at very low temperature, minus 180 degrees Celsius of hydrogen and oxygen. Liquid hydrogen and oxygen at very freezing temperature. That is the upper stage fuel which we use in GSLV rocket. But PSLV consists of only how many stage engines? 4 stage engines, but GSLV it is 3 stage only. In PSLV it is solid, liquid, solid, liquid. GSLV it is solid, liquid and cryogenic. That is a big difference in that will make to the that is the payload capacity. Yes. So, but in Aditya 1 mission, we launched this using only PSLV rocket because there was not much requirement on the payload. Understand that? Is it clear? So we launched it with PSLV rocket, that is PSLV C57, and this rocket, it will have a mission life how many years? Have you observed how many is the mission life? 5 years. Mission life 5 years. And how many payload it is going to carry? Have you observed? It will carry totally 7 payloads. It will carry 7 payloads, and these 7 payloads, it will be like attached with the satellite and it will function like a observatory. This spacecraft which we are going to launch at the L1, that is Lagrange point. Yes, Lagrange, L-A-N-G-R-A-Y-A-N, Lagrange point, very crucial. I think in the Chandrayaan 3 class last time we have discussed about this. Yes, some of you might remember that. But we will again try to look into that. Yes, now the crucial payloads which we have attached with this are Suit, Solex, Aspects, VLC, like Helion it is HE1ON, not HELION. These are the 7 payloads. First write it. If you want the abbreviation for this, I will show you the image. We have the image of this payload. And who developed this? Chances of, see, UPSC in prelims exam, if they want to ask you on Aditya 1 mission, and even about Chandrayaan 3 mission, see, questions can be asked from the payload. See now, this Pragyan rover has found oxygen, titanium, Almost many minerals which we have discussed. Out of 7 minerals, you remember that code mask CTF. Yes, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, potassium, then calcium, titanium, iron. Forget it, the 7 minerals. Chandrayaan we have taken no last class. Chandrayaan 3. Oh, I have not taken Chandrayaan 3 in this class. Okay. We'll try to discuss parallelly. Yes. Have you written this? 7 payloads which we are launching in Chandrayaan also. Again we have 7. Chandrayaan 3 also carried 7 important payloads, and questions on UPSC prelims can be asked from this topic. Kindly stay attention to these payloads. Whenever UPSC wants to ask question on science and technology in space technology, see this year ISRO is making India very proud, is it or not? Followed by, that is not even 1 month is over. July month we launched Chandrayaan 3, which landed on August 23. Last week class we discussed about Chandrayaan 3 and future missions. That is Chandrayaan 4. Now Chandrayaan 4 also may come soon. Now ISRO is in a, what to say, fiery status. Now Aditya 1 again, Aditya 1 mission, even if you observe here also we are making, we are the 4th country to reach. If we successfully place our spacecraft in which position, that is we are targeting L1 point, that is, what is the spelling? Lagrange, right? L-A-G-R-A. Yes, just write it, we will discuss that. I will show you the spelling also again. So it is a Lagrange point or L1 point. Yes, I will discuss what is the concept behind that. Why we are targeting, see our mission, this is a very, now this rocket has been launched yesterday. Even that ISRO chairman, have you seen? He was sitting actually in tension. Even he was not tensed for this Chandrayaan 3. He was very much sure, even before the launch of the Chandrayaan 3 mission, all the scientists of ISRO are very sure that this is going to be a successful mission. Such was the technological demonstration and trial test we have done. Actually, after the failure of Chandrayaan 2, I listened to recently the previous ISRO, that is Shivan, what is his name? Shivan, who was the project director of Chandrayaan 2 and later ISRO chairman he achieved. Yes, then he retired now. I saw one of his interview last week. What he said is, the day when they actually failed, that is, what was the failure in Chandrayaan 2? Actually, in one way it is success. When Chandrayaan 1 was launched, when we wanted to launch Chandrayaan 1, we wanted to send only an orbiter. What is orbiter? Orbiter is something which actually orbits around just the surface. The planet surface it will orbit. That is orbiter. Initially our plan in Chandrayaan 1 in 2008 when we launched, it was only to send orbiter. Not any further idea. But that time, it was what year? 2008. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. What he suggested is to ISRO to at least include one impactor that they call as moon impact probe. Moon impact probe. It is an impactor. What was the idea? It will go and crash. It will grow and crash. But what is the point we have targeted is, we targeted that time only, 2008 only actually India touched the surface of the moon. Which surface? South Pole. Where no country has actually before landed successfully. Even till now, no country has landed successfully. Why? What was the problem there? See, many countries, apart from India, there are 3 more countries who have soft landed successfully on the surface of the moon. And in that, that is USA has successfully sent humans also. In which year? 1969 itself. Now only we are sending a rover and lander to study the surface of the moon. But what is the difference is, we are not like USA, USSR, and another country is what? China. Because those countries have touched only near the equator of the moon. What is equator? Around the equator, bit north surface and south of the equator. But India, it landed successfully at what degree, at what latitude it landed? 70-degree latitude. This is not 90-degree, but it comes under poles only. You have studied in geography, right? 30 to 60, 60 to then 90. Yes, 0 to 30. These are the latitudinal zones. So it is polar latitude. In the south pole of the moon, India has sent a crasher in 2008. But what was the thing that crasher done useful thing to India is, before it was about to crash on the south pole of the moon, it took the images and sent it back to the ISRO Telemetry Tracking Center at Bangalore. Is it clear? And we have these images, and later we improvised it when India went for Chandrayaan 2. That was in which year? 2019. So that was that interview. In that interview, this project director, Shivan, is from Tamil Nadu only. He gave one Tamil interview to a media, which I observed. What he discussed is, but it was very eye-opening thing. Because, see, we know the scientists are literally hard-working people. But we just assume what we see, especially in the news with the success of these missions. But behind that, what he said is, even this people, especially various scientist people attached with ISRO in their interview, behind this, there are so many engineers of ISRO who are giving blood and sweat for the success of the mission. See, after the failure of Chandrayaan 2, that time our Prime Minister Narendra Modi was at where? Bangalore. He was there to see the mission lively at ISRO center. But what happened? Chandrayaan 2 mission, it actually, again, what Chandrayaan 1 did, Chandrayaan 1, our purpose was to crash. That is hard landing. In Chandrayaan 2, our target was to do soft landing, but that also went again like Chandrayaan 1. That's all. But we lost the control, communication with the lander and rover which we have sent, and it again crashed on the south pole of the moon. That time also we have took the images of the Chandrayaan 2. Is it clear? And in this, with these images which we got from Chandrayaan 2, India used it for the Chandrayaan 3 mission. And one more thing is, on the day of failure, immediately Prime Minister Modi actually hugged the ISRO chairman that time, Shivan. And later, what he said in his interview is, that day evening only they started working on Chandrayaan 3 mission, it seems. That is something what we need to learn in life. Yes, for every failures or small failures, what we do in life, we get demotivated. Yes, see, we should take these kind of life motivations from these scientists. That is why still they are successful now. See, many countries have failure in landing on south pole of moon. Even the proud countries, the number one space countries, these countries which they claim, USA, even Russia, they were nowhere near to the south pole only. But India landed successfully, has mastered the technology. That is what we need to understand. And more than this, what ISRO is thinking is, it will serve as a marketing platform, because we are now actually planning to launch other countries' satellites. Commercial space ISRO has opened. Have you know that? In space, what is that organization? In space, right? Now we have a commercial wing. We launch other countries' satellites with ISRO satellites. Our country satellites carries payloads of other countries, and we also launch other countries' nano satellites. Is it clear? So commercially, what India is thinking is, a new market will open. That is what, like in the last class we have discussed about BRICS summit, right? Where in BRICS also our Prime Minister Modi immediately, he was actually lively watching the Chandrayaan 3 mission, and immediately he met the South African president, and what he addressed to the South African president is, he asked him to convey, because they were the president of this, who is the chairman of this BRICS summit, 15th, which happened recently. South Africa, yes? We discussed, right? How many members are newly added? 6 new countries, yes? So, overall, if you see, there also India has told that we need to create a space consortium. Remember that? So India is wanted to showcase it is not just showcasing, we actually wanted to help the African countries. Even today we have some topic again. We'll discuss about India's initiative on International Solar Alliance, how we are trying to help African countries. That is where India is different from China. If you say China is also trying to help African countries. In what way? They will give huge loan with what? Very high interest rate. And these countries will then land up into debt trap. That is what the condition of Sri Lanka. A year before, Sri Lankan economy was in, Sri Lankan economy faced in 2022, what? Economic crisis. Why? Because it was unable to pay because of the huge loan which it has got from China. It was unable to pay the interest. That was also one major reason, apart from its domestic policies, its inefficient economic policy, where they banned the chemical fertilizer usage. All of a sudden, Sri Lankan government said that in our country we will go for organic farming. Yes, so you see, if you go from normal farming to organic farming, what will happen in organic farming? What is the major problem? Yield or productivity will be less, and they immediately had a inflation. Inflation you can't even imagine. What prices it has touched is, fuel price even touched 500 rupees 1 liter, 1000 rupees. Actually, we were helping Sri Lanka during that time, last year. Yes, that is where India is different from China. Even China also tries to help these countries. But in what way? In its own selfish way. That it wants to help means it will lend a loan to them and make them into debt trap. But India really helps them by distributing food grains we have distributed. What we have stored in our excess stocks in FCA godowns, we released some stocks and released it to whom? China, not China, Sri Lanka. Yes, but that is along with that we also send free vaccines also to many countries. Like I said, diplomatic goodwill. That is where India is making difference with other countries. Even many developed countries are there, but they never shared the the amount or quantity of vaccine which India has shared during the lockdown. Is it or not? Yes. Now going into this, we went for this 7 payload, and in this payload, just note the image. It's not given, na image. Yes. Write this. Write this, the abbreviation. Because I have given the 7 payload. UPSC, if they give you abbreviation, means you should not get confused. That is for easy remembrance. For remembering, remember it in the abbreviated way. Later, now you just try to know what is the abbreviation expansion. That is first what I have given is SOOT. SOOT means Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Write it. Very, very important. I am expecting if any questions comes from Aditya L1 mission, question can be, or at least in the 3 statements which they are going to give you, 1 or 2 statement will be from payload. From this 7 payload. So first is SOOT. SOOT is Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Second is SOLEX. That is Solar Low Energy X-ray Spectrometer. That is SOLEX, which we have written. SOLEX. So first what we have written is SOOT. Second what we have written is SOLEX. That is Solar Low Energy X-ray Spectrometer. Yes. And then what we have written is aspects. That is Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment. Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment. And the fourth one is HE, that is Helion, like that HEION, IOS, HEOS, HE1OS, that is High Energy L1 Orbiting X-ray Spectrometer. High Energy L1 Orbiting X-ray Spectrometer. High Energy L1 Orbiting X-ray Spectrometer. And then we have PABA, that is Plasma Analyzer, or for Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya, PABA. Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya. And then we have also written VELC, that is Visible Emission Line Coronagraph. Visible Emission Line Coronagraph. And the last one which we have written is Magnetometer, that is MAG, which we shortly refer. Yes, these are the 7 payload which this Aditya L1 mission is now carrying. Now it is going to travel for how many days? 125 days, roughly 4 months. It's going to be ISRO's longest mission in space. Very long. We are going to travel. We need to dock the rocket. Then the satellite has to come out from the spacecraft, where at the L1 point, very long. We need to exactly launch it at the L1 point. Even if there is a correction from the ISRO here, Telemetry Tracking Center in Bangalore, we will send some inputs to the satellite and it will do some corrections also, because we need to keep the rocket especially at that L1 point. We should not miss, otherwise we will have problems. What will be the problem with respect to fuel consumption? The rocket which is going to stay there at the L1 point will have difference. The rocket, if it is missing that point, means it will be carrying, it will need to carry more fuel. But if you launch your spacecraft or rocket exactly at the L1 point, it will save the fuel. That is the reason why we are targeting. Even before this, USA is already having a spacecraft over there. L1 point only it is having. You know that Parker probe? NASA's Parker probe already is there at the L1 point. They have named that region also. India is also named Chandrayaan-3 landing point Shiv Shakti. Yes, communalizing the points on the moon. Why you are attaching Hindu religion to a place on moon? Yes, when the coming year is election year. Yes, so now we want to, all the political parties want to attach ISRO success as their success. See, these are the success of the scientists, not the politicians, be clear. There is lot of blood and sweat which has been given by the scientists. Even many of them, they actually don't go to home also, it seems. During the crucial stage of mission launching, while preparing the satellites and test process, after Chandrayaan-2 failure, they were 24/7, they will be working for 2-3 days also, it seems. Such was the kind of commitment our scientists are giving. But now this mission will also give some proud status to India, because till now Aditya L1 mission, only 4 countries have launched. Only, that is 3 countries. If India is going to do it, then it will be the 4th country. First is USA. Then we have Germany. Then European Space Agency. As part of Europe, for their space program, they have European Space Agency like ISRO. They have also launched it. And if India is going to place it successfully, its spacecraft at L1 point, then it will be the 4th position. Again, a proud status. Already we have the 4th position in moon. Those who have touched the moon, till now only 4 countries. But India have done in Chandrayaan-1 only. Due to the creativity or suggestion given by Dr. APJ Kalam, because what he said, see, you are sending an orbiter, okay, but what sense it will make to other countries? You just show that you are at least touching the moon. In that way, actually, our scientists are proud that in the Chandrayaan-1 also we touched, 2 also we touched, and 3 also we touched. Only difference is that soft landing, which India could do this time in a successful manner. Yes, so these are the 7 payloads which we are launching, and along with these payloads, what purpose they are launched? That is what can be the possible question in UPSC prelims. Write it, again write it. Now along with the abbreviation where you have written, there just write it in a shorter manner. What are the words which we are saying? Just write it. See, in case of first one, SUIT, that is Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to study solar, that is sun's outer. Sun have 3 layers. Before going into that, let's me discuss that. See, the sun's layer, if you see, the first layer, it is called corona. Then we have chromosphere. And then we have photosphere. Yes. And if you go into the depth of the sun, in the depth of the sun, so that is we have the center, core. Then we have radioactive zone. Then convective zone. This is just for your understanding. UPSC will not ask questions from here. Is it clear? UPSC will ask the concept behind it. Now what we are trying to do is, in this Aditya L1 mission, we are trying to study the corona, and from the corona it actually ejects some mass ejections, some particles, some masses it is ejecting. We need to study their characteristics also. So what we are trying to do, once our satellite is actually placed at the L1 point, it will continuously, it will take 24/7, we will be keeping an observation. Continuously we will be going to monitor now. Till now only 3 countries are doing, and even in that also if you see, USA was the first country, but Germany and European Space Agency and all, they collaborated with USA to launch their spacecraft. But India have done it indigenously on its own. We did not take the help of any countries. Is it clear? That is why many countries are again watching curiously India what we are going to do, because it requires high technical expertise now with respect to giving command to the satellite or the spacecraft which we have launched. We need to give feedback to it. It will be first launched in which one? See, what they are saying is this Aditya L1 mission will be first launched in the that is lower Earth orbit. LEO. LEO means lower Earth orbit. This will be around less than 1000 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Only 1000 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. So this orbit will be there. So first it will try to orbit this space. This is a place also many countries have placed there. Which one? International Space Station. You know that India is not having any international space station till now. We are lagging behind with respect to these many countries. Yes, in the space race, at least now India is trying to catch up very fastly, because even Chandrayaan-1 mission, when it was launched in 2008, it was the first mission. It was the first mission to find the evidence of water on the south pole of the moon. Do you know that? Chandrayaan-1 confirmed the presence of water on the south pole of the moon for the first time. No country has done. USA, they are telling that they have sent humans to space in Apollo 11 mission. In which year? 1969. But they did not find evidence of water. India, when Chandrayaan-1 was launched, that impactor which crashed, it carried a NASA payload. So they found out that deep under that is on the surface of the south pole of the moon, water is available in the ice particles. Ice particles, frozen ice particles are there. And now this Pragyan rover has confirmed oxygen also. Yes, so oxygen is also available. So we have to many great contributions are done by ISRO in Chandrayaan-3 mission, and we are sharing all our technical expertise, whatever results we are finding, whatever we are getting from this Chandrayaan-3, ISRO is sharing with all the world countries now, all the world countries. What we are doing is, that is why when this Chandrayaan-3 mission was a successful mission, in BRICS summit, immediately Modi said, it is not the success of India, it is the success of humanity. He said, all countries should feel proud, not just India. That's what the message he conveyed, because we are sharing the knowledge what we are getting. We are not using for our own selfish purposes. Yes, we are sharing it. Now we are getting, even many countries will be sharing their analysis also on the test results which we are getting. Is it clear? And one more thing, in Chandrayaan-3 mission, there was again a NASA payload. One NASA payload is there, along with our other 6 payloads which we have sent. Now coming to this Aditya L1 mission, again here we will be launching the spacecraft. That is, initially it will go and rotate in the low Earth orbit, and then it will enter the point, that is sun is here means, yes, so we will change the image, we will change it. That is, this is the sun, yes, Earth, and moon is rotating the Earth, and Earth is also revolving around the sun. Is it or not? Yes. Now what is happening? See, there is a point between Earth and sun. There is a point, and it is not a single point. That is what scientists have found out. Because see, now when we are sending any spacecraft or satellite to orbit around the surface of the moon, the biggest challenge will be what? The temperature which will be prevailing around the surface of the sun. So we need to design our spacecraft using the material which should withstand such high temperature. And second, even the spacecraft or satellite which you are launching, it requires fuel actually. See, now what is the problem here is ISRO is having is, now there is at a distance of around 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth's surface, we have found out a point. Even many countries have previously found out that point. That in that point, called that is the Lagrangian point. Here, what is happening is gravitational force. That is, what is that? Attractive force. Attractive force will be there from the sun as well as from the Earth's surface at this point. And both will get here at this point. Both the gravitational forces will be nullified. Write it, very, very important. Both the gravitational forces of sun and earth gets nullified. Nullified means what? It will be zero. If you could launch your spacecraft and exactly land it at this point, then what scientists are saying is it will save more fuel. Our satellite can save, it will not require much fuel. It will require only very less consumption it requires. And it can be also the safe point and also the nearest point. See, like this gravitational forces which gets nullified, there are actually 5 points actually. One is here, and then another point is here, and then third point is here, and then fourth point is here, and fifth point is here. So totally there are 5 L, that is Lagrangian points where gravitational forces will be zero. But what is the problem is we cannot target all the other Lagrangian points. Why? Distance. See, this only it is at 1.5 million kilometers. We cannot send that much long far away. And second, distance is also far from surface of earth. Second problem is your observatory point also distance will be very large. See, this is the nearest point to the sun and also the safest point for our satellite to keep a continuous 24/7 tracking on the layers of the sun. We will study the corona. That is, second layer is chromosphere and then photosphere. Not only that, we will also try to study the solar winds, solar flares, and then coronal mass ejections. We'll try to study. See, what is happening is one more unique thing in the surface of the sun is there is a nuclear fusion which is happening. Nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission, what is the main characteristics? Hydrogen will combine together to form helium. Hydrogen will combine together to form helium. In this process, they will release lot of light and heat energy. And this is the energy most of the stars in the universe, which are part of our solar system, they are receiving the energy from the sun mainly because of what process? Nuclear fusion process. See, even in our nuclear reactors, we use a nuclear process. What is that? That is different. In nuclear reactors, we use nuclear fission process, which is very different. Here what we do? We will try to bombard uranium with what? Neutrons. And it will, while breaking the uranium, what will happen? There is lot of energy which will be released. And that energy is used to produce electricity in nuclear reactors. But here what is happening in sun is a very different process. And India, in a long time ago, we actually partnershiped with some European countries. What we have done is, we wanted to develop our knowledge on how this nuclear fusion which is working in the sun. Now till now we have collaborated with various countries, but now this is through this mission, now scientists will have direct study because various our space laboratories, that is our national institutions, astrophysics, they have contributed to the payload. We will come to that. So what we are trying to do is, in this process we are trying to do that by keeping the satellite constantly at the L1 point, it is like an observatory. It will keep monitoring 24/7 images will be sent to the surface. That is the telemetry tracking center at Bangalore, and we will try to study what is happening in the sun. Why this is, how we are, what their scientists are mainly curious about is, see, The surface of the sun is having only temperature of around 6000 degrees Celsius. 6000 degrees Celsius on the surface of the sun. But the outer layer, corona, it is actually receiving or emitting more higher temperatures. In million degrees it is in the coronal surface, the temperature. But on the surface it is only 6000. So scientists are very much puzzled. What is happening? Because this is the nearest star which is located. Is it or not? Sun is the nearest star, but we don't know how it functions because we are receiving continuous light and heat energy from the sun. Is it or not? And what is the time it takes to reach the surface of the earth? 8 point, how many seconds? 8 minutes, 24 seconds, 20 seconds. In 8 minutes, 20 seconds, it reaches the surface of the earth. And now why there is a change in the rays of the sun, solar radiation or heat emitted by the sun, all these are things which will influence our weather and all patterns of life in earth surface also. So our scientists wanted to study that. Is it clear? And again, one more thing what we are trying to do is, we have sent 7 payloads, I said, right? In these 7 payloads, 4 payloads will be facing the sun and 3 payloads will be facing away from the sun. Are you getting it what I am saying? 4 will be facing towards the sun and 3 will be away. And what we try to do is, here in one series of payload, we will be trying to focus on the surface of the sun and study its properties. In another payload, what we are trying to do is, we are also trying to study the magnetic field and other characteristics at the Lagrangian point. We wanted to know why at this point only, exactly what kind of atmosphere elemental composition this Lagrangian point is having. What is the magnetic field level? So we wanted to study that because scientists can get some clue from that, and in future if you want to send any other mission, we can use those parameters to our advantage. Is it clear? So we are focused on 2 things now. One, we wanted to know about the sun and its various layers and its properties of solar winds, etc. In addition, we are studying the Lagrangian point. Is it clear? So Chandrayaan is doing both this, not Chandrayaan, Aditya L1 mission. And coming here, so we have written what is the purpose. So SOOT, that is solar ultraviolet imaging telescope, will study chromosphere and photospheric layer. In what range? In ultraviolet range it will study. So just write this one. It will study the layers of chromosphere and photosphere of the layers of the sun. Which one? SOOT payload. Yes. Second what you can write is SOLEX and HE105. HE105. SOLEX and HE105. So both these will study X-ray characteristics. That is, what is the X-ray range which is prevailing? What is the X-ray range which is prevailing from the sun's radiation? What is the X-ray range? That will be studied by 2 payload. One is SOLEX, another is HE105. And then next one, aspects and PAPA, that is Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment and Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya. See, you will be getting the PPT. But write the payloads and its characteristics for your revision and understanding. Again, you cannot come to PPT for each and everything. So have your notes which is useful to you. So try to write this, aspects and PAPA. So what it will be studying? It will be studying solar wind characteristics and other energy properties. So solar wind mainly it will be studying. Yes. Then after that, write this visible emission line coronagraph. It will study the coronal mass ejections. Where it is coming from? From the coronal surface, which is the what layer? Outer layer or inward layer? Outer layer of the surface of the sun. It actually ejects coronal mass ejections. That will be studied by visible emission line coronagraph. Visible emission line coronagraph. Then the final thing, magnetometer. It will study the magnetic field. I said right at the Lagrangian point. That will be studied by magnetometer. This is a payload which will study that at the Lagrangian point. So overall, these 7 payloads and its purposes you need to remember. Is it clear? Yes, write it firstly so that We'll discuss more topics. Yes? Completed, huh? Yes? And I will show you also, that is the 5 Lagrange points. Yes, so this is the layer which we are discussing. That is, outer is corona, second is chromosphere, inner layer is photosphere. The depth which we are discussing is, see here, internal structure, center part is core, then this is the radioactive zone, and the outer layer is convective zone. 3 zones. Yes? And this is the 5 Lagrange points. That is, now we are actually targeting which point from the surface of the earth. So first our satellite will go to the Earth's orbit, that is LEO, which is one lower Earth orbit. Then it will try to enter which point? L1 point. And here we will station our Aditya L1 mission, which will carry the payload, and that payload will be armed. The instrument will be on only when after it is reaching the L1 point. That is also additional task. We need to give command from the Bangalore. We need to give command to the satellite. After then only the payload will be on, and it will start doing and sending images to the ISRO. Is it clear? Yes? Yes. So now what we have discussed, Aditya L1 mission, the mission life we have discussed. So the mission life is for 5 years, and it will going to travel for how many days? 125 days, and we need to station at the L1 point, and we will be studying these 7 payloads. Using the 7 payload, we will study the surface of the sun and its characteristics. Is it clear? Yes. So India is now, if it is doing it successfully, it will be what position it will attain? 4th position. And what are the other countries which we have done? Other countries which they have done in the past is, yes, who are they? USA, that is NASA. If you want to write, just write it, NASA's Parker Solar Probe. NASA's Parker Solar Probe. Second is Helios 2. Here NASA will be partnering with Germany. And the third is Solar Orbiter. Here NASA will be partnering with Europe. That's why I said India, if it is doing as a position, it will attain is 4th country. But still, we have not taken help from any countries. That's the difference here. European Space Agency and Germany have taken the help of USA. But India is doing on its own. Already USA is having its spacecraft at the Lagrange point. We are also trying to place our spacecraft near to that. Is it clear? Yes? So questions can be expected from this topic. Now we will go into the second topic. What is the second topic which we have given? International Solar Alliance. See, International Solar Alliance, it is a initiative where India played a leadership role. It is a main initiative of India and along with France. India along with France, what they did at the UNFC Climatic Conference, United Nations Framework on Climatic Change, the Climatic Conference meeting, that is annual meeting, which happened at Paris in France in 2015. In that year, India launched this International Solar Alliance at the UN meeting on climatic change. In that meeting, also one outcome of this meeting is the Paris Agreement which we are having today. You know that, right? Paris Agreement, what we are trying to do? We are trying to limit the global temperature to what level? 1.5 degrees Celsius to maximum of 2 degrees. It should not anyhow cross this range. We are trying to do that. Otherwise, there will be a more melting of glaciers and global weather, climate, agricultural pattern, and people will suffer. The impact they are saying is going to be very catastrophic, very huge. So we need to limit the temperature. In this climatic change conference meeting, our International Solar Alliance was launched. So it was mainly India's initiative, but we took the help of France for making this our vision come true. Now here if you see, This International Solar Alliance, currently it consists of 106 countries. It consists of 106 countries. And who are these countries who are members of this? Any idea? Huh? I think equator roughly. So equator, Tropic of Cancer. Yes, somewhat we adjusted. Yes, we'll show the map. Huh? So now what happens is, who are the members of this International Solar Alliance? 106 countries. Those countries are in the tropical range countries. Those countries are tropical range countries. That is, those countries which are located between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn are actually invited to join this alliance, International Solar Alliance, because these are the areas on the globe which will receive in a year at least 300 days sunshine. 300 days, that is out of 365, 66 days, almost 300 days. Which countries will face? Those countries which are in the tropical range countries. Yesterday also, I think in economic class we have discussed. Yes, you know that what is the reason? Summer solstice, winter solstice, where sun will be overhead. See, at the equator, sun will be overhead. At what is that thing which will happen? Equinox. And then a Tropic of Cancer, and then we have Tropic of Capricorn. So sun can be overhead here. That is when we call that as summer solstice. When is summer solstice? Huh? June 21st. And sun is overhead at Tropic of Capricorn. It is called winter solstice. When it is? December 22nd. And equinox will happen on 2 days. One is March 21st. Another is September 23rd. Yes? That is the reason. See, sun will actually, it will move from equator to north of, that is Tropic of Cancer, northern point. Then it will travel southward up to Tropic of Capricorn. Again it will come back to equator. So that is the range where sun will be overhead. That means what? It will receive insolation which is perpendicular rays. Perpendicular sun's rays. Just understand that. That is what is important here. This perpendicular sun's rays, if you fall it on the solar panels, easily energy can be produced compared to slanting sun's rays. Those are available in the temperate range countries. Are you getting it what I am saying? Yes. So these countries which are there in the tropical zones, they have higher amount of potential for generating electricity from solar energy. That was the India's creative idea, because see, you are talking about limiting the temperature. For reducing the temperature to 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, we need to reduce carbon dioxide. If you want to reduce carbon dioxide, see, you need to bring in various energy efficiency engines. You know that, right? Bharat standards we have. Now India is following Bharat standard 6. We have also that topic today we will discuss. BS6 standard India has adopted, and related to that also one topic is there. Now coming here, see, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to use the potential of the solar energy in these tropical range countries, and that should receive how many days? 300 days sunshine. So those are invited to join this. Out of the 106 countries who have signed it, 86 countries out of 106 have ratified also. Ratified means they need to get the confirmation in their parliament. In the domestic climate, the government, they have to get the approval. Whatever international agreements which they are saying. So 106 countries have signed it officially, but 86 countries have confirmed it. Is it clear? So this International Solar Alliance, recently its 5th regional meeting happened. Any idea where it happened? Yes, you have the map of Atlas. Go to the map of Africa political. It happened in Rwanda capital, that is Kigali. Yes, see here, somewhere here it will be Rwanda. That is nearby Uganda, And right hand side we have, I think, Tanzania. There, Africa map. Africa map, kindly observe and locate the Rwanda, because see, UPSC can ask the question, map based question. Kigali is there, Rwanda's capital. Yes. Along with that also locate countries such as Cameroon, Uganda, and then Mali. Yes, have you located countries? Cameroon, I think somewhere here, Western African region, Cameroon, and Mali will be here. Mali. Yes, and Uganda, here nearby Rwanda only we have Uganda. Can you locate all these countries I am saying? Can you follow? No. No. See, in the nearby Eastern Africa, Tanzania, big country will be there. Ethiopia, Somalia, downside Tanzania, and from Tanzania take a left. After that you will find Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, very big country will be there here. And the just physical map, just to see here, just go to the physical map that side, from political map, there will be in the same Congo, you have something called Katanga Plateau. Can you locate? Katanga Plateau. A very big plateau like comparable to Deccan Plateau of India. Katanga Plateau in Congo. It is a huge mineral resource of Africa, that is the Congo. Here we produce copper and diamond. What is Katanga Plateau famous for? Copper and diamond. Write it. Very, very important. Katanga Plateau is famous for copper and diamond. Nearby only Uganda, Rwanda, we have Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. What is the capital? Kanchavilla. Huh? What is the capital? Kanchavilla. Huh? Just be loud. Democratic Republic of Congo's capital. Kinshasa. Kinshasa. Mark that also. Remember that also. Yes. We will again come back. Still more places we need to there. Stay with the atlas and focus here. Now what we have done, there is a recent meeting which happened as part of International Solar Alliance, which was the initiative by India and France. This regional meeting, 5th meeting happened this year, just now. In the last week only it happened. Where? At Kigali. Yes, it is located near to almost equator. Equator is there. Can you locate equator which passes through Africa? Not only equator, Africa is also having Tropic of Cancer as well as Tropic of Capricorn. Any other country, any other continent in the world through which all this passes? Yes. That's why they say Africa is blessed with equatorial climate and tropical region it comes majorly, and it contains lot of forest reserves, mineral resources, varieties of plants, animals, and even the people pattern is still in traditional mode. They have not modernized. So many countries are trying to build up their relation with these countries, because African population, if you see, it is very huge. It is like they can also become a market for India. India is now, African people are using Indian Yamaha bullets. You know that? Our two-wheelers are getting popular in where after globalization, many countries, developed countries have taken the market domination of India. India was searching where we can sell our products. We found recently Africa as attractive destination because they are only ready to buy our technology. Yes, so all our bullets, two-wheelers, everything we are selling to these people. They are very happy. Along with that, India is doing some good initiatives. They have some goodwill, respect for Indians. We'll come to that. But before that, in this International Solar Alliance, we also have initiated 9 technology demonstration project on solar energy. On solar energy. That is in Totally 2 technology projects in Cameroon, 4 in Uganda, 3 in Mali. This they won't ask in exam. Just understand total are 9. In mains you can write there are 9 technology demonstration projects which are created during the recent ISA meeting. More than that, in preliminary they will not ask you this fact. No need to remember. Is it clear? But you should know what they have done. We are trying to do technology demonstration projects. Along with that, India has contributed in this outcome of the meeting on a larger role. Yes. So before going into that, we need to understand why Africa is important for India. Why is Africa important for India? Because see, one is because of the presence of more population. It is a large market or huge market for India. It can turn in future as a huge market for India. And it is also, we have invited all the African countries to come and join the International Solar Alliance. Why? Because many of them will come under tropical range countries. So all of you come and join. And what India is doing is, India is trying to share our technological expertise and funding with the African people while launching it. We are also developing partnership with World Bank to execute the projects. Now, after this, Africa is also blessed with a lot of mineral resources. And it is also blessed with more renewable energy. What are the more renewable energy? Hydroelectricity. There are more rivers in Africa. Solar energy. Yes. Then geothermal energy. What is geothermal? Geography class you would have studied. Geothermal energy. Yes. So almost many renewable resources can be potentially huge. Where means Africa. We can tap it. We can also share our expertise with Africa. That is why India has taken the initiative to bring an initiative which will help the African countries, because they are blessed with the geographical resource, that is minerals. What are the minerals? If you see, means South Africa is blessed with platinum and chromium. Write it. South Africa is blessed with platinum and chromium. And then there are countries like Nigeria. They are blessed with uranium. And Katanga Plateau, what it is blessed with? Copper and diamond. Yes. And you have also oil in Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt. You have also oil there. In African countries, oil resource is also there. Oil resource is also there. Where? Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt. These countries have oil resources also. So Africa is, what they are saying is, roughly it is containing in world total mineral resources, 40% is present in Africa, African continent. So it is blessed with minerals. It is having large population, and it is having more sunlight and more potential for other renewable energy, more rivers, more electricity, hydroelectricity can be generated, more solar, solar insulation is there, so more solar energy can be generated. So the potential is huge. That's why India is planning, considering Africa to be important. Is it clear? Yes. Now coming to this meeting, that is the 5th International Solar Alliance meeting. They have came out with a report. Just write the name of the report. I will show you in the slide. Yes, write it. The report name is Roadmap of Solar Energy for Universal Energy Access. Write it. Very, very important. UPSC can ask questions from this in preliminary examination. What is the report name? It is Roadmap of Solar Energy for Universal Energy Access. Is it clear? Written? Roadmap of Solar Energy for Universal Energy Access. Yes. So this is the report. Now what we are trying to do is, we have actually in the report we have highlighted some things. Second, what we are trying to highlight in this report is also, write it, we are also trying to highlight the potential which sub-Saharan regions and rural areas that is villages, what potential they can have if they can have their own electricity. They don't need to get the electricity from the government. They can generate every village or every individual house in Africa if they follow the India's whatever case study examples we have given. What they are telling is each village can produce the power from their own using the solar energy. Decentralized model we are giving. That is why it will help African people. In many villages in Africa, still electricity is not there. What we are trying to do is we want to light every house every house should have a light. That is also one mission and vision. Under which one? International Solar Alliance, when it was formed. No village should be in dark. Each house should have a light. That was the vision which it is working on. That is why we are going and targeting African countries which have very good potential. What they require? They require funding and technology. That's all. If you could share them with them, then they will implement their creative models. Is it clear what I am saying? So that will help many countries. That will help many African countries. That is African countries such as, can you see, Rwanda, Uganda, Senegal, Senegal. Where is Senegal? Western African country. These all countries are now growing in a very higher pace rate, higher growth rate they are having. So India can use this country and can share their knowledge and expertise on solar energy with these countries with a which model? With a decentralized model. With a decentralized model. So this will help really the African countries. Is it clear? Then what is the next topic we have given? Next topic. Electrified flex fuels. Electrified flex fuels. Third topic. Yes. So first we need to understand what is the meaning of flex fuels here. Flex fuels. Write it, very important concept. Flex fuels means those engines which can work on various fuels such as petrol, diesel, then what is the other thing we have? Petrol, diesel, then ethanol. Yes? Yes, and all these engines and even electric. So petrol, diesel, electric, ethanol, and here this flex fuels here it can have ethanol blending. It can work on ethanol blending up to 100% also. Are you getting it? Last class I think we have discussed about biofuel. There we have discussed that India is now making compulsory in our petroleum what we are using for our two-wheeler, four-wheeler, is it or not? There we are not having 100% full petroleum. Now India is doing blending of ethanol. We have approved it now up to 20% now. In India now this is the target. So what we are planning is in many regions now this is in practice now. By 2025 India wants to achieve 20% ethanol blending throughout India. Be very clear. We have actually preponed our goal. Before we have kept the target at 2030. Now we have actually made it bit very earlier. There is an urgency we are showing now with respect to ethanol blending, because we cannot keep on importing oil from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait. Why? Because the import bill keeps on rising and it keeps disturbing our balance of payment under which component? Current account or capital account? Current account is turning negative mainly because of the import bill, which is highly contributed by this petroleum only. So if you could use more biofuels, that is blending of at least ethanol in our fuels which we are using, we can save petroleum reserves. Is it or not? That is the reason why India is actually trying to bring it bit earlier. 20% is now already done in many regions, and here for working on this blending fuel, we require this usage of flexi fuels. Is it clear what I am saying? For work. So if your fuel wants to work, we require engines which can work on the concept of flexi fuel. That is, for blending that ethanol with your petrol or diesel, we require a special engine. That concept is referred as flexi fuel. And along this flexi fuel, if you use electricity, there is electric vehicles also in this concept. It can work on electric engine also. Then it is referred as electrified plus fuels. So now in the world they have developed a, that is Toyota has developed the world first now this electrified flexi fuels. That is why it was in news. Hybrid cars. So it is like hybrid only. You are using two, that is one is flexi fuel engine as well as electric vehicle. Why we need to mix it with electric? Suppose if you have problem with this engine, if your fuel is over, it can function on electricity. That is electric charge which we are having. So here what they are saying is, in this way, the fuel efficiency will be much better. Fuel efficiency will be very high in case where? In case of flexi fuels. Flexi fuels where we mix with electricity, that is electric vehicle concept. This electrified flex fuel will have, these engines will have more fuel efficiency compared to normal engines which we are using. That is also one major advantage. And government is now suggesting, in our country if you see, we have parallelly Bharat standards. Have you written up to this? Yes, we are also following something called as Bharat standards. Bharat standards. As part of Bharat standards, now if you see, India is now following Bharat standard 6, and recently it has came out with stage 2 also. So in Bharat 6 we have stage 1 and stage 2. So recently stage 2 notification has came. Stage 2 notification have came. What is this Bharat standard is all about is, these are standards which India has adopted from European countries. These are standards which are adopted from which country? European country. So why we are adopting it? Because we wanted to reduce air pollutants. We wanted to reduce the air pollutants which are released into the atmosphere. We are bothered about especially NO2, SO2, yes, and then particulate matters 2.5 and particulate matters 10. Particulate matters 2.5 and 10. So we are bothered about these gases. They are released into the atmosphere by the engine, on the exhaust of the engine in these four-wheelers. That should be reduced because air is getting more polluted. If you see in Delhi, they are saying it is like unfit for human living. People who are inhaling the Delhi air pollution in case of November, December month, they will die of respiratory diseases, they are saying. Old people and all, they will get asthma related problems, they are saying. People are very afraid to live in Delhi in winter months. Even see, if this year also you will observe, when December month comes, Delhi will face again air pollution. Yes, so we need to reduce the air pollutants which are released in the combust of the engine. Is it or not? Now, here what we do is, here in Bharat 6, again we are targeting more reduction in which one? Nitrogen, more reduction in nitrogen, sulfur, that is sulfur dioxide means after oxidation it will be SO2. So sulfur which is released, as well as SO2, that is sulfur, SO2 and particulate matter 2.5. So we are trying to reduce all this in a much better manner. That is sulfur level they are saying is, they wanted to reduce it to 5 ppm, 5 particles per matter. That is 5 ppm, that standard which they wanted to reduce. Yes, we will share that. We have the data, we will share it. Yes, so what we are trying to do in Bharat standards is, we adapted this from based on European model. What it is about, we wanted to reduce the pollution in the atmosphere. For that we are targeting few gases which are released in the exhaust of the vehicles. So those gases we kept on from Bharat standard 1, 2, 3, 4, and from 4 India actually directly came to 6. We did not follow Bharat standard 5, immediate 6. Why sudden urgency? Because Delhi And many cities, not only Delhi, many cities are now facing problems of air pollution. So even WHO, when it says India's air quality, on average, it is remaining poor category. So we need to improve on that. So we are trying to improve this with the help of Bharat standards. Is it clear? And as part of Bharat standards, now in India, all the newly produced vehicles now in India, be it be electric vehicle or petroleum vehicle, electrical or petroleum or diesel vehicles, whichever is newly produced and sold in India, they need to follow Bharat Standard 6 now. Bharat Standard 6. This is made compulsory in India now. We are following this standard only. Is it clear? As part of this, India is also, see, when we adopt the Bharat Standard 6, what will be the problem? Any idea? There are people who oppose this actually. Who will get affected? Huh? Manufacturer. Which manufacturer? Car manufacturer. Car manufacturers, they actually, that is all the main car companies, automobile companies, they actually literally protested. See, suddenly you are coming from 4 to 6 means, this, for the 6 you need to bring in separately engine. What is the requirement you need to do? Engine needs to be different. Because the fuel which you are giving right now, that fuel also requires some changeover. Because from your petrol or diesel quality also, the exhaust will come. Is it or not? So what government told is, even the refining companies, oil refining companies, they also need to go for changeover. What is the changeover? With respect to production of this, that is refining the petroleum. So that refining method has to be improved. And car companies have to come out with better engines. Then only this Bharat 6 standard can be practically possible in India. Is it clear what we are saying? So who are the people who will get affected? Both the refining oil company people who is manufacturing the, refining the oil, and car companies which they are manufacturing the engine needs adaptation. Is it clear? What problem they faced? Now cars have become costly. Cars prices have increased mainly because of this fast tracking our which one? That Bharat standard from 4 to 6. And what government is saying is, now currently we are also doing blending in ethanol. So this electrified flexi fuels people can go for. Is it clear? That's why it was in news. Now going to the next topic. Fourth one. Huh? OBC reservation in local bodies. OBC reservation in local bodies. See, here what happened is, in case of 2022, first Madhya Pradesh, they have actually implemented this OBC reservation in local bodies. That is local bodies, it includes both panchayats and municipalities. Already if you see in India, we have SC/ST reservations for reserved communities. How much it is? For SC it is 14% and ST it is 7%. Already reservation is there. Already it's there. But in addition to that, for OBC communities, now they get reservation in where and all we are currently getting OBC people. In India, we get reservation in education. Another one is in employment. Education and employment. This is the concept which has been prevailing in India. With respect to reservation, we are following in education and another is employment. But now we are trying to bring in political while standing for elections also. For whom? Mainly for OBC communities. And now when Madhya Pradesh did it in 2022, Supreme Court said that, Supreme Court nullified it. Supreme Court nullified it. It did not approve them. It actually said that move was not valid. When in 2022. Later, in 2023, Gujarat have now implemented OBC reservation. Gujarat has now implemented OBC reservation in local bodies in 2023. So this year they have now implemented, just last week. How they did it? What they did is they went and submitted a petition again to Supreme Court. They asked for a suggestion that they wanted to do for OBC communities in Gujarat. And Supreme Court appointed a committee, that is Zaveri Commission. Zaveri Commission or committee. Zaveri Commission. This was appointed to give suggestion whether we can give a reservation for OBC people. And what it has suggested is, yes, you can permit it, but make sure you follow some triple test procedure. You follow some triple test procedure. That is, really if these people, they are facing backwardness, means backwardness criteria, you should give this OBC. Now this backwardness, what kind of backwardness they are having, how much proportion they are having, and how much reservation you are going to give. These things state government let them decide. That is what this commission said. But make sure those people whom you are giving, they enjoy some, what is the limit which you are setting, it should be shared with the people. Now Gujarat has fixed 20% reservation. 20%. Already in India, if you see, OBC reservation, currently it is 10% in other states. But Gujarat is the now only state to have 20% reservation for OBCs. What is the maximum limit? Supreme Court, what it said is, don't cross the 50% limit of reservation concept. Don't cross that. So now it is how much? 20 plus 14, 34 plus 7, 41. 41. So 50% you should not cross in reservation. That's what it said. Is it clear? So Gujarat has now implemented this. After the recommendation of this Zaveri Commission, they permitted them, Gujarat, to do. Now Gujarat has passed a law actually. They have passed it that they will passed a bill, and based on that they confirmed it that they will give OBC reservation in local bodies. Now what is the positiveness in this? What is the positive? What is the negative? You tell me. It will give, one is, it is going to create an inclusive society. Inclusion can happen. Will it happen? Because see, if you really wanted some communities to come up, you give reservation to them, they can easily come up the ladder. That's a policy India has been doing in education and employment. In politics also we require that. Is it or not? So it will actually give them inclusion. Second, it will empower them. It will empower them. They can share their skill. They can share their leadership. Or they can develop leadership skills. And they can develop their skills also by getting this opportunity. Yes, these are some positives. But what are some negatives? See, when it comes to education employment, we have a concept of something called as creamy layer. Creamy layer with respect to OBCs. But now it is not there. In politics, we are not applying creamy layer. What is creamy layer in OBC? Those who are earning now I think it is 8 lakh. 8 lakh annually. If somebody is, if your father is earning above 8 lakh, means if you are listed under a OBC caste, and if your annual income of your father, that is family, it is coming around more than 8 lakh, means then you will not be given OBC reservation in India. You will be belonging to creamy layer category. Yes. So what is the concept is, those who are better off in OBC communities, for them we are not giving reservation in education and employment. But when it comes to politics, we are not including that. So that should be included, so that those who are in the bottom OBC layer, they will get really benefited. Is it clear? And second, it will promote the caste identity. It will again bring the caste identity into the Indian system. Yes, we are doing many things to make the people to forget the caste. But what we are doing through this measure, again the caste identity will revive. Is it clear? So these are the positives and negatives when it comes to OBC reservation in local bodies. And here, with respect to Gujarat, if you see, there are some areas where PESA Act will apply. What is PESA Act? It is Panchayat extension to scheduled areas. Where tribal peoples are there, there also we have extended the local government. When was this local government concept included in India? Originally it was not part of constitution, you know that? As part of two amendments. What are they? 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. As a result of this, only local bodies have been established in India. And when it comes to tribal areas, OBCs, so what are tribal areas? Those tribal areas we have now extended this panchayats also. In these panchayats and this PESA Act, wherever it's applying in tribal areas, there OBC will have 10% reservation only, even within Gujarat now. This is one exemption. In tribal areas, we will not compromise. Other areas, you give the 20% reservation. That is how Gujarat has framed this bill. Is it clear? It can be asked in mains exam also. The impact of giving reservation for OBCs. What is your opinion? Is it a welcome or not? So you need to give this analysis, positives and negatives, you need to analyze with any examples. That will be better. Yes? Now going into the next topic, what is the fifth topic we have given? Global Research Alliance. Global Research Alliance. See, yes. Any doubts? Now what happened? Recently India and New Zealand, they have signed and they have met. India and New Zealand's foreign minister and agricultural ministers have recently met and they have signed some understanding, that is MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding has been signed on airspace, on boosting airspace security. We have signed some agreements. What we are trying to do is with New Zealand, whatever aircraft which we are sending, cargo aircraft means what? There is a difference between passenger aircraft and cargo aircraft. What is the difference? In which one humans will go? In cargo, cargo who will go? All the goods will travel. So, with respect to New Zealand, we are coming up with better understanding. Let us use our space so that we get more permission for transferring more goods in airspace. Now we are having, with respect to other countries, you need to give stage by stage approval from them. How much cargo you are bringing into their country, and the spacecraft, everything has restrictions. So, but with respect to New Zealand, now we have actually opened up. We are planning to go for more cargo express, as well as using our aircraft in any emergency. We can land in their airspace with less permissions. So we are trying to improve on airspace security, our relationship. In addition to that, in this meeting, New Zealand Agriculture Minister has actually met our Indian Agriculture Minister, and they have actually asked India to join the, which one? Global Research Alliance. This is an alliance which consists of 67 member countries. Write it, very, very important. It consists of 67 member countries. And whether India is a member? India is not a member. That way is coming and inviting. Yes? So India is not a member. In these 67 member countries. So what they are trying to do in this Global Research Alliance? Yes? So what they are trying to do is it will give practical suggestions for by focusing on agricultural productive system, we will focus, and we will try to reduce the emissions which are coming from agriculture. We will try to reduce the emissions. That is especially greenhouse gas emissions. What is the major greenhouse gas which is coming from agriculture as well as from livestock? Methane. So India is considered to be emitting large amounts of methane. India is also not only considered, it is blamed. USA always blames India. See, you are growing rice and you are polluting the atmosphere. India was thinking. See, our people are 22% Indian population are in poverty. You are coming and saying we should not grow rice means who will feed our people? You want us to again import from you? Yes, so India wants to convince these countries. See, we require rice because in agricultural field what will happen? In the immersed agriculture, because paddy requires stagnant water. In stagnant water, what will be created? Aerobic condition or anaerobic condition? Anaerobic condition will prevailing. There is absence of oxygen. So in this anaerobic condition, methane is released into the atmosphere, and even from livestock, that is cow. Which one? Cow dung. Cow dung methane is emitted, right? So there also methane, and methane is a potential which one? Greenhouse gas. So this global research alliance is focused on bringing projects such as carbon sequestration principle. Carbon sequestration principle, write it, very very important. So we are trying to implement projects here, suggestions and projects and technology based on carbon sequestration model. What is carbon sequestration? Any idea? Yes, normally what we do, we use two-wheeler, four-wheeler on the earth surface, and what we do, we try to emit carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. In atmosphere, if carbon dioxide is increasing more, what is the problem? It will, what is there here? It will act like a greenhouse gas. So greenhouse gas, what is the problem? Those radiations which are emitting from the earth surface will be reflected back to the earth surface. Because of that, the heat balance in the earth surface will get disturbed. Now what will happen? There will be an increase in temperature because of increase in carbon dioxide. Yes. So what we are doing is we need to control the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. For that, one concept is we are trying to observe the gas which are present in the carbon dioxide using which one? Carbon sequestration technique. For example, if you see, we are trying to observe this carbon dioxide gas. Yes, and then what we will do is we are trying to bring this gas and see under the ocean beds, we will try to release it. So carbon dioxide will get mixed with water and form carbonic acid, or it will eject into the bed layer of the ocean surface. And then what we do, we also use volcanoes crater. We will go and pump that oxygen which is absorbed from atmosphere into the volcanic craters, so that it will mix with calcium and other rocks, and it will be with the minerals. Are you getting it what I am saying? Carbon dioxide with calcium plus carbon dioxide will form calcium carbonate. So it will be mixed, it will chemically mixed with these rocks. Yes. So we are trying to do either by observing the excess carbon dioxide in atmosphere and trying to make sure it is not released into the atmosphere back. In that way we are trying to preserve it under the earth's surface. This concept is referred as carbon sequestration. Is it clear? Yes. So what is this we have discussed now? Global Research Alliance, and as part of Global Research Alliance now New Zealand has invited India because this is an initiative which has been initiated by New Zealand in the year 2009. In the year 2009 itself, it is an initiative of New Zealand. That's why it's saying India to come and participate in this, because India is considered to be one of the largest emitter of methane. And here we will get suggestions, inputs, technological expertise, how to reduce that methane which is emitting from our agricultural and livestock, as well as from the, the excess carbon dioxide which is there already in earth surface can be saved or preserved using which one? Carbon sequestration technique. Is it clear? This is one thing on UPSC Prelims environmental segment, this concept can be asked. That is this alliance, Global Research Alliance. It's different from International Solar Alliance. Remember? Yes, what is the next topic? Sixth topic, B20 Summit. B20 Summit. This summit happened recently in New Delhi. New Delhi. It is the business summit. Business summit of which one? Which organization? G20. Business summit of G20. That is business people from G20 countries. They came and participated in Delhi in this meeting. Which meeting? B20 summit. In that, our Prime Minister also he went and addressed the meeting. That is business 20 summit. Because this year G20, who is the chairman of this year G20 summit? India is presiding this. So as part of this, we came and we initiated this B20. We also asked the various business people in the world to come and participate in the meeting, who are part of G20 countries. We have shared them some ideas, inputs in this meeting. So what are the things we have shared? See, we'll see one by one. We'll come to this PPT also. Before that, we will try to cover this concept. Global Research Alliance we have completed. B20, yes? Yes, so write it. The theme of the meeting, that is RISE. RISE. R-A-I-S-E. RISE. Yes? What is the theme of the meeting in Delhi which happened in 2023? Now, RISE. That is, R is responsiveness, A is accelerated, I is innovative, S is sustainable, E is equitable. Yes? They can ask you in prelims exam a statement, the theme of the B20 summit, because people are expecting questions from G20 since India is the chairman. So they may ask you on B20 summit. Yes, so the theme of the meeting is RISE, that is R stands for responsiveness, A for accelerated, I for innovative, S for sustainable, and E for equitable solutions. Equitable solutions. Yes, and coming to this here, what are the main concepts we have discussed is, we have talked about global value chains. Global value chains. What is global value chain? That is supply chain. What is that supply chain? For example, if you see, when Corona came to India, which year? 2021, 2019, not 21, till 21 it was there, right? So 2019, when it came, many countries closed their borders and the fear that this virus may get transmitted. And in that process, what we did is, overall, see, there are countries which are completely dependent. See, for example, Saudi Arabia is importing basmati rice from India. Pakistan is also using indirectly. And even we are, USA also now they are using our agricultural goods. Oh, most of them are also used again by Indians only. Our people are there now. Who are IT people who are settled, green card, yes. People in USA, Canada, they also consume rice only now. So we are exporting to many countries. When you close the border during COVID time, what happened? We cannot export to other countries. People who are completely dependent on you, they were not getting the same goods which they were getting. Because of that, there is a disruption which happened. So what India wanted to say is to all these businessmen, develop a model so that it will, any crisis like COVID, if it comes in future, the supply chain should not get disrupted. Because India was able to supply during that time. It showed its leadership skill by exporting vaccines, food items to other countries during lockdown time. But many countries did not do. They closed their borders. But India was on the other side helping the countries, African countries and even South Asian countries. So what India wanted to share its idea is through this meeting to these businessmen from G20 countries is, it told that the disruption should be corrected in future. Then it also discussed about better climatic change technologies. See, profit should not be the motive. When you come and produce any energy intensive activities, make sure you are climate conscious. We wanted to make our businessmen who wanted to do business to be climate conscious. We have shared that, and digital transformation and financial inclusion. Yes, so what are the things we have talked? Just write it, the bold and things only, headings only, don't write inside. First point is caution against treating countries as market. What our Prime Minister Modi has addressed is, what he told is, see, When business people from G20 countries, big developed countries, when you come to India or any other country as such, don't treat those country just as market. Market means what? Just looking at economically, how much people are there, how much my business is going to sell. Only on that aspect, don't treat it. What you need to do, you need to balance the interest of consumers. Consumers, the people should be concerned. Don't think about numbers are there. Give some value to them. Give quality products. Don't just treat them. Make sure that they are happy when they consume your product. Just don't come and function on the notion that so many people are there, we can tap the market for your economic exploitation. So we conveyed that point to these businessmen. Second thing, during COVID, as I said now, our global supply chain got disrupted. So we told these businessmen to bring in better systems in future through which they can withstand the corona-like crisis in future. And third thing what we have told, we also asked them to rethink the business. What is that business approach? See, India has lifted 14 crore people out of poverty. When? In the last how many years? 5 years only. But still in India we say, as per NCERT data, 27 crore people in India are in poverty. But our Prime Minister is saying he has lifted in 5 years 13.5 crore. What he has lifted? Our calculation, their calculation is based on how many income is how much per day? 32 rupees. In 32 rupees, Prime Minister, you will wear jacket for how much? I think some 10, more than 1 lakh, 10 lakhs or something when he first assumed the leadership. That Modi name was like small printed. For that name or for that one day to wear that dress, he spent 10 lakh. Our people are dying in India just to not to get a food, and government is saying if you have 32 rupees you can survive. So it is like that is the idiotic situation, or what to say, practicality we are not having with the government. We should revise the consumption expenditure. Income we have to revise it. At least World Bank in that manner it is better. How much it is saying? $1.9, roughly around at least 150 rupees, which is somewhat reasonable. Yes, so but we are saying that to these people, now we have, what we are telling is, we have lifted 14 crore or 13.5 crore people out of poverty. Now they are having money. You come to India, you have a ready demand will come from these people. So Modi ji, by birth, by blood, he is a businessman, Gujarati. Yes, Marwadi is blood region. So by word, dress, communication, they know. Even sleep also they say these people will talk business. Is it or not? But anyhow, but he is also doing his business perfectly, promoting India's market to this G20 countries businessman. If you come to India, we have more people. But make sure you don't come to India just to make profit. You consider importance of individuals. And make sure you are functioning in all the point of time. Suppose corona is coming, don't close your factories. Make sure you have alternate models. That these are the things we have conveyed. In addition, we have also asked, see, in India we have National Consumer Day. Which day? Just type it in the internet. I think in December month will come. December 11 or something. Type it and tell me. National Consumer Day. When is National? 24th December. So in India we have this December 24, which is National Consumer Day. Now we are the chairman of G20. We are the one who is presiding this B20. Which one? Business 20 Summit also. So what we are telling is, see, India, we are now whatever ideas, whatever things we are having in India, no, we wanted to incorporate in these meetings. Because we are the chairman now. So we can, under our leadership, we can suggest these ideas. So we told like in India we have National Consumer Day. Same manner, in internationally we can bring in, which one? International Consumer Day. I don't know what is the importance in celebrating so many days. Yes, people should get the feel. What is the purpose behind that? Why we celebrate Consumer Day? It is to bring consumer awareness that you should not feel cheated. When you buy a product which is not qualitative, you have every right in India now to file a consumer complaint. Do you know that? And the producer from whom you have bought the product, he has to give a response within a day. And if it is not convincing, they have to give you monetary compensation. You can approach courts of India for consumer redressal commission is there in India. Yes, in the same manner, we wanted to encourage these businessmen in their countries so that internationally we come up with International Consumer Day. Yes, then also we have talked about one more important thing. This is the most important thing. We have talked about the impact of technology, emerging technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, which is creating ethical impact. Because now businesses are started using artificial intelligence, is it or not? So what are some of the ethical problems we get in using artificial intelligence? What are the ethical things? Ethical rights is all about individuals' rights, privacy, yes, and doing unnecessary or manipulation. All these are ethical things. Unnecessary manipulation of what? Images, textbooks, in everywhere, any field. So photos can be morphed. The persons who is speaking, their voice can be dubbed. Yes, that will affect that, and they will say Prime Minister Modi is speaking, somebody's voice, they will do it in a software, and they will say we are coming up with another demonetization. Yes, now if such a thing happens, then after that people will not believe even if real Modi is coming and telling that. Yes, so the thing is the problems are many. With respect to, even though we are using more technology, we are getting more problems. We are telling that only as part of this leadership, we are sharing that knowledge. See, consider the ethical. When you bring in technology, give some ethical value. What is good, what is bad, you should know. What is good, you do. What is bad, or if it is creating bad, make sure it is done in less manner. Are you getting it what I am saying? Because now companies, when they do business, they adopt artificial intelligence technology which can have affect the individual rights, his rights to freedom, trade, anything can be affected. And privacy, yes, and unnecessary manipulations of images and other artistic forms can happen. Is it clear? So these things India has shared in this. And one important thing with respect to this is we have recommended through this summit, we wanted to follow which one? Global Sustainable Development Goal. What is the goal? I already discussed this. There are two concepts here. One is Millennium Development Goal, which is followed from the time period from 2000 to 2015. We have MDG concept. Now we have from 2015 to 2030, we have in the world SDG concept, that is Sustainable Development Goal. This is international UN-based goal which are set for all countries as a benchmark on their education, health, life expectancy, literacy, in providing road facilities, in building houses, toilets, all this, how a country should develop, and climatic change goals. We should not pollute more. On these things, internationally, we have come to a target that is focused in Sustainable Development Goal. We are trying to achieve this target by 2030. We adopted this in 2015 and we wanted to achieve it by 2030. Likewise, before we had 2000, we have started this MDG goal, and we have ended it in when? 2015. Is it clear? Yes, so we have now focused on this SDG goal. So India has conveyed that countries need to be sustainable development goal, they need to follow. When you come, you need to be climate conscious. You should not consume more energy. That is what we have conveyed. And we have also suggested to them the concept of global public good. What are global public good? Oceans, biodiversity. From this, how energy can be generated. From oceans, we have ocean thermal energy. What is that concept? Within the ocean layer, if one layer is having higher temperature and another lower temperature, there can be a movement of water. We can use this difference in thermal temperature to generate electricity, to move the turbines or to produce electricity. That is ocean thermal energy concept. So like that concepts can be developed. And biodiversity, making use of plants and animals in a productive manner. Yes. So we wanted many, because what we have suggested in this B20 summit is, we asked this businessman, when they come and do any business activity, we also encouraged them to create a fund for what? To generate electricity from oceans and from using the biodiversity in efficient manner. Is it clear? Yes. So remaining things, it's not that much required. Yes. Then what is the final topic? Fast track special codes. Fast track special codes. So after this, we will go with the PPT. Some points if we have missed means, we will try to revise it faster and we will try to end the class. Yes. So all the things we have discussed, you have understood. Yes. Now fast track special codes. See, fast track special codes are created in 2019. This new government only created around 1023 numbers they have created initially. First time when they created in 2019. Why they have created? We already have regular courts in India. What are they? Subordinate courts, then district courts, then we have high courts, then we have supreme courts, then we have tribunals. Yes, we have tribunals, right? Yes, and we have special courts. Then what is the purpose of fast track special court? Yes, so because we have created it for a specific reason. What is that reason? We have created mainly to handle rape cases, cases related to rape cases, and those which comes under POSCO Act, that is offences which are committed against children, child sexual offences. So for dealing with these sexual cases, we have brought in fast track special court. We have brought in fast track special court in India. Regarding this preliminary examination, they can ask you question. Means we cannot expect, because there are many problems only. After the coming up of this fast track courts, see what are the problems we have seen is, positives is, see they have delivered the judgment. They have solved many cases. They have solved many cases now, very in a faster manner now. But if you see the problems which it has created are many. What they are saying is, that is lack of proper training. Lack of proper training. Second is vacancy. That is, lack of proper training means, see, who are the judges who will be dealing with fast track special courts? They are the judges who are working in High Court, Supreme Court or any district court. Those judges only, they will be given additional role to additional work it is. They have to come and work in where? Special court. And special court means it has special purpose. Only in that specific, it will deal only in specific jurisdiction. Specific jurisdiction. What is the meaning? Only, see, if it is out of its jurisdiction, something other than rape case and POSCO Act, it will not deal. Is it clear what I am saying? Fast track special courts are which will deal only with these two cases. Any other case, if you bring it here, they will not deal with that. They will not consider your case. Yes, so it requires some special expertise. Is it or not? And our judges who are currently in India, they are not given training to go and work in that. Because they need to know the laws in detail. This is some special law which has been created, and special court has been created, and judge also should be given training. Now they are working in some other criminal laws, civil laws. Now this particular criminal law, how it needs to be interpreted, and how it needs to be studied, all these previous judgments, the training has to be given to the judges, but currently in India we are not doing. Because of that, there is a problem in happening. Where? Problem in delivering the judgment. Problem in delivering the judgment. Now judges are taking more time to give decision on this case in the recent years. Why? Because they did not get the training. They need to give training. And second, one more problem is, see, the judges whom we are bringing in under fast track special court are already judges in some other courts. They consider it as a burden. They don't consider it as an opportunity. They consider it as a burden. And So they show lack of interest in this, in giving fast decisions or justice to the people. Is it clear? So these are some problems. So now we will discuss still more points from this PPT one by one. Yes. So starting with Aditya 1, we will go. Yes, Aditya on mission. Yes, Aditya on mission, what we have discussed. PSLV, what is the number? What rocket it is? C-57. How many payloads it carried? 7 payloads. What are they? Suit, Solex, aspects, suit, Solex, aspects, then Papa, then VELC, then digital magnetometer, and one more we have missed it, Helios. Yes, so total 7 payload. Here, what is suite will study? Suite will study the sun's outer layer, that is chromosphere, photosphere. Except corona, it will study which one? Photosphere and chromosphere, the inner layers of the sun. It will study. And what will Solex, and which is another one? Along with Solex, we have Helion. We have two payloads, Solex and Helion. What it will study? It will study the X-rays range in the which is emitted from the sun. And what about aspects and Paba? It will study solar winds, its characteristics, solar winds and its characteristics. And then what about this VELC? What it will study? Coronal mass ejection. Coronal mass ejection, which is coming from where? Outer surface of the sun. And then we have this magnetometer. What it will study? Magnetic field at which place? At the Lagrange point, that is L1 point. Is it clear? Don't forget this. Question can be expected. Yes, so these are the various payload, and here one more thing what you need to know additionally for prelims is try to know which are the institutes which are attached with the payloads. That is, in case of suit, it is developed by Pune, some university, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune, and ISRO has collaborated. So basically here Pune based organization plus ISRO. And if you see this visible emission line coronagraph, so here they have not given us, so it is done in Bangalore, that is Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore only. And then this Solex and Solex and which one? HIAS, this is developed by ISRO, and aspects is developed in Ahmedabad, some physical research laboratory, and another is at Vikram Sarabhai Center at Thiruvananthapuram. Just have some rough idea. UPSC in preliminary examination we will not know up to what extent they ask fact. These are facts only. But payloads you should understand conceptually. What is the purpose? But these facts can be added so that suppose question comes means you should be ready enough. You should not say that you don't know. Because in prelims you don't have any option. In mains at least you have options to write what you know and leave what you don't know. But in prelims, if you know or not also, you need to attend that question. No options here. Is it or not? Yes? And this we have discussed. Outer layer is corona, then comes which one layer? Chromosphere, then photosphere. And in the depth wise, first we have core, then radioactive zone, then final is convective zone. Yes? And objective, if we have not written objective, I have said orally that we will be trying to study solar wind, the outer, that is chromosphere, photosphere, and coronal mass ejections. Those are the objective, and it will be studying round the clock. That means what? 24/7 it will be sending images, capturing image and sending it to Bangalore. And where it will be placed? It will be placed at which point? L1 point. This is what is very important. It is going to be challenging mission. Even scientists only saying this. That is why Somnath, ISRO chairman, he was in tension. Because we are not sending it in GSLV rocket, only PSLV. But PSLV, it is like, what they say is it is like workhouse of ISRO. That means We had so many successful missions under under PSLV rocket. But this rocket which we have sent, it carries a bit higher payload. In addition to that, this is the rocket which is going to travel for longer distance. ISRO has not sent such a long distance mission, which is traveling for how much distance? 1.5 million kilometers. That roughly comes around 1 million is 10 lakh. That is how it will come how much? 15 lakh kilometers. We are spending the rocket. It is going to travel for 125 days. And one more thing what they are saying is, see, now we have sent Chandrayaan 3, right? Chandrayaan 3. Between whom? Earth and moon. So Chandrayaan 3. This distance is there now between Earth and moon. Compared to this distance, this sun's distance is 4 times. Not sun's distance, this L1 point. This L1 point is going to be how much distance? 4 times that of the distance of the sun. You cannot compare it with Chandrayaan 3 also. Chandrayaan 3 at least it took around 1 month. July 15th we launched. August 23 we landed our lander and rover. Yes, 40 days. This is 125 days because the distance is 4 times that of moon. That's why it's a challenging mission. Not only the distance, also see your satellites are there now. Your satellite, you are there placing it. From sun solar radiation, solar flares will come very fastly. And these solar flares can affect your satellite. And what scientists are telling is, already not only this, all the satellites we are launching around the Earth's surface, they also may be getting affected by whom? From the solar winds and flares which are coming from the sun's rays. So we need to study the sun's characteristics correctly so that we can develop satellites accordingly in future. These are some intentions ISRO is having along with this. So this is the 5 different points, Lagrangian points. What is the main advantage here? Fuel consumption will be less. Yes. So what are the other missions we have written already? NASA's Parker probe, that is the first one. Second is with Germany. What it is? Helios 2 solar probe. They can ask you in match the following, the name of the mission to sun and the country. Be very clear with the countries. Make sure that these are not done by single country. Along with NASA, they have taken the help. Germany and here European Space Agency. India is different in this aspect. We are not like them. Although they will be crediting only the 4th position to us, we have done on our own, not taking help from any people. Yes, it's a proud status only because after the success of Chandrayaan 3, immediately we are launching this. So now all the world is turning their attention towards India. Yes, now we have joined the space war, space race. Now we are planning to send humans also soon. Yes, but we have to be very careful. It's not going to be a easy task because it's not just sending it one way. You have to receive them in a safer manner. You are just now softly we have learned how to land our, which one? Lander and rover, which is weighing how much? 20 kg, rover. Rover roughly 20 kg, so it is like very less kg, less weight only. But that we have learned to land very in a safer manner. But sending humans to space means what they say is, the biggest challenge which scientists are saying is, currently, see, even with respect to moon, this is the problem India is having. That is, see, now from the Earth's surface, if you launch the satellite through escape velocity, yes, through escape velocity, it will, what will happen? It will escape to the outer space. And first what it will do, it will, Chandrayaan 3, what it did, it launched around it orbited around the Earth's orbit. And from Earth's orbit, later it was injected into which one? Lunar transfer orbit. Then it was launched into the lunar transfer orbit. Then what will happen? Then it entered the orbit of the moon. And from the orbit of the moon, we have actually now landed on the south pole of the moon. Now suppose if you are sending humans to moon means, what is the thing we have to master is, see, up to here, up to even now, if you send humans today also, we can land, our human Indians can keep the, footprints on the surface of the moon, no doubt in that. We can do it. But where is the problem is, after they do some experiments or collect the lunar soil and they want to come back, that is where we have problem. Because again that same rocket has to be fired from there, and it has to again escape, it has to come with the escape velocity from the surface of the moon. Then it has to come follow the lunar orbit, and from lunar orbit it has to enter lunar transfer orbit, then come to Earth's orbit, then enter the surface of the earth, atmosphere of the earth. Their air will give friction to you while coming back, and you have to come and land in a safe manner. So the challenge India is facing is here, again launching it. So we need to be bit very careful. Otherwise, it will be a risk of 3 humans, which includes 1 woman also. They are planning 1 week, and we are given training for them. They have got training where? Russia. They have undergone training. Even during lockdown time, we have sent them. So we have to wait and watch. But ISRO, before that, they will be doing many experiments. For sure, it will be happening. But what is also required is, what our scientists are saying is, we don't need to worry too much, because India is already having capacity of reusable technology. Reusable technology. You know what is the meaning? Reusable technology. For example, you are launching the rocket from Earth's surface. It will go to the outer space, and from outer space it can come to Earth's surface, and the same rocket spare parts can be collected. We have tried it. Where we have tried it means our DRDO, that is Defense Research Development Organization, while launching missiles. Because both rocket and missiles, they work on same technology only with respect to parabolic or elliptical path, and most of the functions are same only. So in defense technology, while experimenting, India has successfully experimented. We have made our missile to go in the upper atmosphere and come and fall in the Bay of Bengal, and we went and collected it safely. So we are telling that we have mastered reusable technology. When we have done this in 2016, write it, very, very important. 2016 only India has done this. But now we are in the process of learning this technique. How in the surface of the moon, again to launch our spacecraft or rocket, and then enter the surface of the earth successfully. This is something we have to be very careful while sending humans to space. Now going into the second topic, this is ISA's which meeting? 5th meeting. Where it happened? Kigali, that is Rwanda's capital. Yes. And the theme we have already written. And what are the highlights? This report actually focused morely on sub-Saharan Africa. Where is sub-Saharan? Go to the map of Africa physical. Saharan desert, just see. Sahara desert. Full western and central African region will have a vast stretch. What are the countries which are located there? Cameroon, Niger, Nigeria, yes, Mali, Sudan, all these sub-Saharan regions, and least developed countries and small island countries. India is trying to help. Through which one? ISA, International Solar Alliance. What we are trying to do? We are trying to provide our knowledge and expertise, how we generate solar energy very cheaply. We are going and sharing with whom? African countries. We are also providing them funding and technology. So we will give them training also. So that let them master this, so that the people of African region, they will not be left out with electricity. Even in villages, they can get a light. They don't need to get it from central grid. What they can do? They can get it from their own thermal solar panel, which is located in their house. From that only they can consume electricity. At least one light they can get. It can glow. That is what India is targeting in African countries. Yes, and what are the implications? See, India is also collaborating with G20. That is because since India is also the chairman of G20, as part of International Solar Alliance, we asked them also to come and involve in this. Because we require their support if you really want to focus on LDC means what? Least developed countries, which are economically very poor or economically very less developed. Those countries are least developed countries, and small island countries. Such poor countries are there. So we wanted to help them. Yes, and why is Africa important? I have given the various mineral resources. What are they? South Africa, what it is famous for? PC. Remember by the code PC. South Africa PC. What is platinum and chromium? And another Niger and Nigeria is famous for uranium. What is Katanga Plateau famous for? Copper and diamond. Yes, and where oil is there in Africa? Egypt, Ethiopia, and then which one? Nigeria. Yes. So Africa is blessed with various other geothermal, hydro, green hydrogen, so many renewable energy projects, and it has a very big market, and it is rich in resources. So it is important for India. We can sell not only our two-wheelers, tomorrow we can sell our solar technology also to African people. We can use them as our market, like how global companies who participated in Business 20 Summit came to India because 13.5 crore people are out of poverty. India can also go and do the same thing with Africa. We can go and lift the people out of poverty so that they get employment, so that they get income, and then they will, what to say? What they will do? They will be out of poverty means they will buy your products. So there will be a potential market for you. That is what India is so much serious about Africa. And even with respect to Indian Ocean countries, what are the Indian Ocean countries? Go to that. Which are the countries which are on the coast of Indian Ocean? See, African countries: Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, Mozambique, South Africa. All these coastal countries, India needs their support. Because what is the problem in Indian Ocean region is problem of pirates. Pirates. Who are these pirates? Pirates of Caribbean. Huh? Same in that manner only, pirates are also operational in Indian Ocean region. What these people are doing is they are kidnapping actually the people also, as well as the goods and oil resources which countries are trading. So we need to protect them. So for that we need cooperation of whom? These African countries. Yes, so we need better cooperation with them. So India is focusing on that also. Yes, and the next topic is electric, what is this? Electrified flex fuel. What are flex fuel? Which can operate under flexibility in engine. Petrol, diesel, electric vehicles, as well as with ethanol blending. Up to 100% also it can support. But in India, we currently have only up to 20% blending. So our government of India, whom Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas only is suggesting people to go for flexi fuel vehicles, because if you use normal vehicle means you need to spend more on services. Your engine may not be proper, it might be affected because of more ethanol blending. So directly government cannot say that. So indirectly they are telling kindly go for flexi fuel engines. Are you getting it? So big market is opening under this. And who has developed this? Toyota Kirloskar motor. They will not ask this fact and all. Don't need to remember. Yes, and what is this electricity flex fuel concept? Here we will mix the flexi fuel engine with which one? Electric vehicles. That is electrified flexi fuel. What is the advantage when you mix with electric engine? You will get better fuel efficiency. Your fuel will burn bit more efficiently. That's what these people are saying. That is why the government is suggesting people to use this engine to efficiently burn the ethanol which is available in petrol and diesel. And what is BS6 norm? We have discussed about Bharat Standard norm. Bharat Standard consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5, directly 6. We have moved from 4 to 6 directly. Here who will suffer? Two stakeholders are there. Who are they? One is car manufacturing companies. Another people is oil refining companies. Both. This Indian Oil, Petrol Bank, Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum, HP. All these people need to be careful. BS6 means they need to give such kind of fuel only. They have to refine it to the highest level. They cannot come with the same fuel, otherwise our engine will suffer. Is it clear? And coming to reservation in local government bodies. Here how much is the reservation Gujarat has given? 20%, which we have discussed. But in PESA states, regions where PESA is applying, how much is the reservation? Only 10%. Be very clear in that. First it was done in Madhya Pradesh, but Supreme Court did not give the approval. Later, what was the committee which was formed? Zaveri Commission. Zaveri Commission. This has suggested that, see, as you go for giving reservation to OBC people, how much it is? Yes, so 20% you can give, sorry, 27%. We have given 20, yeah? Yes, write it, change it, 20% we have written. Yes, 27 it is. Wrongly I have given 20. 10% to 27%. Even we have in UPSC also OBC reservation is 27 only now. Education and employment also 27, same only. But in PESA states it is only how much? 10%. Tribal states, see, tribal state means not just northeastern region. Even Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat will have tribal areas within the state. There also PESA will apply. Be clear. Is it clear? Yes. So it is overall 27% we have given. So now what is the total amount? 27 for OBC and for SC/ST is 14%, 31, 42%, sorry 41%, and for ST it is 7%. So total is 48% we have reached now in political reservation. It should not cross which limit? 50% limit it should not cross. So we are in a safer position. That's why Supreme Court has given approval now. With the recommendation of which committee? Zaveri Commission. It has suggested a triple test. Remember, triple test. Yes. Yes. Where is that? Triple test. This is the one. What is triple test? Set up a dedicated commission to see what is there is 3 criteria it needs to check. What is the nature of backwardness? How many people are actually affected by backwardness? And how much is the reservation? It should not cross 50%. So if they satisfy, any state satisfying these 3 criteria, they can go for implementing reservation, OBC reservation in local bodies for implementing in the local bodies. Is it clear? And what are the positives? They will get inclusion, they will get empowerment, they will get leadership, skill development, yes, and political awareness and impact, positive impact. What are the problems here? Creamy layer concept. We have to include creamy layer concept that is discussed here, and caste based again division or problem will arise in India. Yes. And with respect to New Zealand, we have discussed about Global Research Alliance. How many are members here? 67 countries. Yes, 67, and India is not a member. So what it is discussing, this alliance, about reducing which one? Huh? Methane, especially from agriculture and livestock, and it is also focusing on soil carbon sequestration. That is carbon sequestration, saving the carbon which is released from soil. So we are trying to promote that. And what is B20? It is business 20. So here it is what you can do is one line if you want to define means it is the unified voice of the entire G20 business community. What is B20 if they ask means you can write this. It represents the unified voice of entire businessmen who are belonging to G20 countries. That is the meaning. And it consists of task force and action councils. Under this we have task force and action councils. So questions can be expected from B20. Because India is the chairman this year of G20, they may ask you something related to that. Even in mains we can expect this year in GS paper 2 some questions on G20 or B20. Because we have a separate component called international organizations in paper 2. Yes, and what is the theme we have written? RISE. What is RISE expansion? Responsiveness, accelerated, innovativeness. S is what? Sustainable. E is equitable. Yes. So who are the members of G20? They are members of B20. And what are the things we have discussed? We have discussed with the business people not to treat in any country as just a market. Respect that people, respect the consumer's interest, and make sure you are functioning under all the crises, disruptions. Your global supply chain has to be proper. Make sure what products you are selling, it is climate energy conscious. And what are the other things it has discussed? Yes, and consumer, it has suggested international Consumer Day, like how we celebrate in India December 24, National Consumer Day. Internationally it should be done, and mainly it has discussed about artificial intelligence, that is bringing the technology, what impact it will have on humans. Yes, that ethical considerations have been discussed here, and in UPSC mains also, or in SA we can expect one question, the ethical impact of, if you want write it, the ethical impact of artificial intelligence in business. Ethical impact of artificial intelligence on business and on people. Write some essay on this for some 5-6 pages. Artificial intelligence impact, ethical impact, artificial intelligence ethical impact on business and on people. UPSC may ask, because it's related to technology, so what are the rights which are getting affected? How is the privacy which is getting affected? How is the image which is getting manipulated? Yes? So all these questions can be expected. And what are the problems with, what is the main recommendation in this B20? We have suggested them to use global public goods. What is that? Oceans biodiversity should be used to generate energy. Second, we have asked them to implement sustainable development goal. Like we had before, which one? Millennium Development Goal. So we have talked about that. And what is fast track special court? It is about two things. What are they? Two main purpose, two cases it deals. One is rape case, second is POSCO, Children's Sexual Offense Act. Yes. So what is fast track? See here, fast tracks means they will provide swift justice. Just write it. Swift justice means very fast. It will provide in a faster manner. That is swift dispensation of justice. Definition is that. Swift means what? Swift car we have, no? Swift. Fast. Swift is not fast. Bird. Okay. That bird flies fastly. Oh. Okay. Very good. Maruti has used at least some reasoning in their brands. Yes. So they give very speedy trial. But what is the problem with this? See, if you see the achievement, as of now, in within 4 years, it has provided more than, it has disposed how many cases? 1.74 lakh cases. But what is the problem we are getting now is, we are facing problem in infrastructure, we are facing problem in limited jurisdiction, because it is dealing with specific case and it require special training which needs to be given to the judges. And even vacancies, because judges are not exclusively, they are not appointed for these courts. Who is doing again one work, they are given additional responsibility and they don't show any interest in these cases. Yes. So these are the topics. You have understood what we have discussed. Yes. So go home, try to revise this along with last week current affairs class also, so that in the coming week we ideally wanted to take at least 10 issues in the coming classes regularly, and keep doing whatever notes you are making. PPT will get it. PPT you will get it. But what I will advise is, try to make use of your notes which you have made. That is more than enough to revise whatever you have understood. Is it clear? Any doubts you have? Doubts, if it is, see, one thing what you need to understand in life is, if you don't have any problem means, what is the thing? Vivekananda has said this, Swami Vivekananda, then you are running on a wrong track. If somebody is coming with problems means, then you can be sure that you are going on a right track. So make sure you keep reading, not coming and attending the class. Is it clear? If you read, you will get surely 100 doubts. Go through the PPT. If you don't understand anything, come and ask in the next class. Yes? Fine? Yes, so we'll meet in the next class then. Yes, thank you.